Hey, hi, hello, and good afternoon. My name is Amanda, and welcome to Harmony Portal Tarot Live. I'm loving the lighting situation today. This is like perfect overcast day outside. We can read the level up sign. I mean, what more could we want? Hello, everybody. Check on in. Happy Friday, y'all. Yes, it is Friday or Friday. Yeah, I hope those of you that celebrated had a wonderful Thanksgiving yesterday. And those of you that don't, hope you still had a wonderful day. But today we are going to be getting into, I wanted to do a pick a card, but I'm working my other job today too. Worked it already this morning, and I'm going to be working it after the live stream today. So it's a big work day for me as far as just being busy. But I still wanted to get a December message out before we flip that calendar page. Although I like to say there are no hard stops to these energies. They ebb and flow into each other. So there's no just hard stop when we flip that calendar, unless you want there to be. If you're like, nope, not feeling this anymore, I'm ready for a new reality, then of course you hard stop, flip that, and watch it manifest, because that's how powerful and amazing you are. So these energies for December, we're just tuning into the collective, our little collective, and maybe just touching on like the human collective, just to see what's going on with that, just so we can have a heads up and realize that if I don't want to be involved in this, then you don't have to be, because we are that powerful. And that's something that we, when you learn astrology, you learn your human design, you learn this, you learn that, and then you almost, it's great to know, but where I in the past had gotten stuck is, well, these are my limits. This is the container that my spirit has been put in this human meat suit, and these are the highest potentials I can reach. And I've just lately, especially, come to this realization that no, I'm not settling. I'm not settling anymore for just scraps of this, scraps of that. I'm ready to just be that, I am presence in my body, and start, it's not going to be easy. I can already feel that for myself, to switch all of these lifelong belief or be lie systems, because the word lie is right there in the middle of belief. And yeah, so you have more power here than you think you do. And so something like a December 2024 pick a card, it's basically going to be letting you know, this is what's kind of currently available. And if you choose something different, please do. Please do. So yeah, Kirsten's got her donation out. We already had a donation come in a while back, at least a half hour plus ago, from Katie. So I am going to get these donations on the list. Both are full reads today. Okay, and of course, anyone else looking to donate, we will get you on the list as well. And just depending on time, I don't want to go too far over 2 hours on this live stream, just so that I have enough time to eat real quick before I log on to my other job. So we may do the, what do you call it? Cosmic question corner, or the giveaway / drawing if we have time. But if we don't have time, we will hopefully have time to do it next week. I want to at least once a week be able to do these things, rather than just, well, we're too busy, so let's not do it at all. Like I don't want to be in that energy either. You know what I mean? So we're gonna make time for it, most likely next Wednesday. And I do believe that I put Wednesday as our regular schedule. Yeah, we're gonna be doing our regular scheduled time Wednesday next week. So hi, Rhoda. Welcome. Let's do some shout outs before we get into our December pick. I almost said pick a card. I mean, it's kind of basically like us all picking the same pile, because that's the collective energy, right? So it's pick a card-ish. So Kirsten's here. We got Brandy Lynn and Rhoda so far. Okay. And Katie's on the list. I will timestamp if I don't see her show up when it comes to time to do her reading. So here we go. December 2024 for all of us watching now and on the replay, our little collective, and just any human collective things that are going on that we need to know about, bring our awareness to. Okay. So slow and steady energy. I actually really like this, because the chaotic energy of, having everything going on with the elections, and the holidays are coming up, and there's just so much going on. My nose keeps itching. So that's like lucky energy. Yay, lucky. I'm glad we are just taking this approach. It doesn't all have to happen right now. We can kind of make a plan, stick to it, take some action. Maybe there's a few days where things are really moving forward at a quick clip, but then other days you're able to pull back and do that reset, do that rest, relaxation, recuperation for your energy levels. Especially those of you that are parents that have, kids at home still, especially where you're just trying to make everything, magical this time of year. And just making sure you're still showing up for yourself, still showing up for others, all the fun things. So, yes, there's about to be a breakthrough. So there's a breakthrough energy coming in this month as well, December. Let's see what this has to do with. What area of life is this breakthrough? Knight of Swords. Okay, so this might have to do with your children, those of you that have them, but it's literally about moving forward on something that may have been held up, stayed up, just stuck in some way. You're finally able to move forward or manifest something that's just been almost elusive to you, or maybe you're kind of dipping in, but like energetically, you're just not feeling it. So you get bored or you give up or you just put it on the back burner. You're getting, it feels like you're getting your zest for life back. And it almost might come in as like just this good idea or something someone says that sparks something within you. Like, yeah, why do I have to sit around and wait? I'm just going to do it. Again, kind of finding the balance between slow and steady wins the race and, oh my God, I'm just zooming in right now. So you might have moments of each of these coming in for you in December. And I want to just tune into the underlying energy. So the biggest theme going on for us in December is we're finally being recognized. We're finally being rewarded. There's finally a victory here. Something that's been held up, stuck, just very hanged man energy is finally moving forward. Again, whether it's super fast or kind of on the slower side is kind of going to vary, but it's going to be up to you as the viewer right now to balance. If things are a little overwhelming, you can allow yourself to pull back a little bit, and not everything's not going to go off the rails or fall apart if you pull your energy back just a little bit. But if things are slow and you want to speed up, then you also have that prerogative to just start going on something and allow it to really take you for a ride. So that's good. All right, so that's the underlying energy is victory. So the past energies you're kind of bringing in from, let's say, October, November, December. Well, let's see, before October. So September, October, November. Finally being able to make change in your life. Those of you that went on some sort of significant trip, even if it wasn't a big trip, it was just, across town or to visit somebody, which in November. Earlier this month, I did visit my mom. So that was good. So the underlying energies you're bringing in is maybe there are other trips you're taking in December, or you're just finally able to move forward on things that felt stuck again. So this is great energy you're bringing with you from the previous months. So the month of December itself, good times, happy times with your family, your friends, your nearest and dearest. This, I don't know that we could ask for anything better. So whatever the heck is going on in the human collective, it almost feels like you're untouchable to it, especially if if it's positive, sure. But if it's negative, you're just stepping right on out of that reality. You're carving out your own little section of the universe for you to feel much more cozy, comfy, connected, especially emotionally connected. And not only to your friends and family, nearest and dearest, but also to your own self. So you might even be doing a lot of emotional clearing, cleansing. Oh, it's your December card. Well, yeah, good, happy family, happy times, lots of good, fun stuff going on. Memories being made. That's an energy that's coming through with this card is really good memories that are being made. Just really funny stories that you might tell year after year around this time of year. Just remember that year that you said this and then he did that. Oh my gosh, it was hilarious. Just really good, happy times, happy memories. So for the future, so this is kind of the end of December, taking us into January, February, maybe even as far out as March. We're getting a sneak peek right now. Let's figure out what's going on with that. What is going on into our near future for December? Okay, so you're closing out cycles. And I'm actually going to need a clarifier on this because I keep hearing it's not even that bad. It's not even that bad. It's not even that bad. I mean, it looks pretty bad, but it's not even that bad. So what is the clarifier? What is this we're closing out? Oh, I'm hearing limiting beliefs. I mean, who wouldn't want those to just exit stage left? I sure would. Closing out limiting beliefs. Yeah. because there's new abundance, surprises, creative life force energy that is looking to find you, but it's being taken up residence currently by just all these old whatever. This can even be other people's energy, other people's thoughts about you, blah, blah, blah. So doing a big cord removal, and even if you don't, if you have very significant relationships, even if things are going well in those relationships, it's always a good idea, or it would behoove you from time to time to just clear the energy between you. Again, even if things are really good, just to keep it flowing, keep it moving. Because even when things are really good between you and someone, if you're not clearing the energy from time to time, things can get a little stale, a little stagnant, a little boring. So we want things hopefully to be, exciting and fun and connected. So clearing those cords, even to your device. We have her here on her phone. Like, she's just so overwhelmed that she's taking on even more overwhelmed by maybe logging onto social media or something like that. So just clearing, you can even clear cords to your Facebook account, your phone, your computer, your work email, whatever it is, because online, it is just this other form of reality. It's maybe not 3D reality, but it affects our 3D reality in a major way. So clearing or cutting cords around your social media between now and March, between your phone use. Some of you might even be going on some sort of like social media hiatus, or just wanting to be away from your technology or your screens a little less than you maybe are now, just for your own self-care. But doing these things can free up a lot of energy and time for you to focus on creative passions, creative endeavors. Those of you that have children, or those of you that are children to a parent, this is more time that you have to spend with these people. Could even be friendships, people in your own generation as well, that you're having more time to invest emotionally into those connections, creative endeavors, etc. All right. So the best path for us to follow for December. What is the best path for us to follow in December? All right. Well, that underlying energy, I guess I did put it back in the deck. So your best path to follow is just to remember that whatever it is that you're facing, especially if you're kind of tuning into this energy around the end of the month, like this has to end, this has to stop, something's got to give, I'm ready to be done with this thing. Just remember, it's already done. You've already succeeded in some timeline, some now moment that's, potentially going to be in your future 3D reality. Sorry, I'm getting all sorts of calls today. I got like 3 different phone calls while I was at work on my other job today too. A popular, it's from my mother-in-law. So maybe someone's mother-in-law is reaching out or something. But again, remember, you are that fractal of God having this human experience. So whatever it is that you are looking to overcome, any challenges, thought process, belief systems that you're looking to overcome, you've already succeeded. So your best path moving forward is just to know that you're already victorious. Even if you're still in the 3D, very in the thick of whatever this is, your best path to follow is just to know you've already won, you've already got the job, you've already, gotten the success that you're seeking, whatever that is, and staying in that energy, even as you're kind of playing pretend by having to go through the 3D timeline of getting your success, getting your victory. So it's almost like the 3D always is lagging way behind, because it's always a manifestation of our past in our present moment. But you can really make some quantum leaps or major strides this month by just knowing that you've already succeeded. Whatever it is you're setting out to do, you're already a success. Don't let that, that's one, I guess, mistake you could make is like, well, I'm already successful, so I'm not going to make that phone call. I'm not going to open that Word document. I'm not going to shoot out that email. I'm not going to, follow my intuition to go to this store at this day and this time. I'm not going to go to that birthday. No, you still have to follow your divine inspiration, that inspired action. You still have to put in the elbow grease in the 3D, obviously. So your best path to follow is know you're successful already, as long as you're putting in whatever inspired action, intuition is telling you. All right, so wish coming true this month. I just saw the Empress on the back of the deck. So just really embodying that divine feminine energy, being in your divine feminine receiving era. Allow it to come to you. Yes, we're still taking action. We're inspired, but we don't have to hustle and grind so much this month, because it's all going to get done. So yes, we're wrapping the gifts. We're making the memories. We're making things happen. But yet at the same time, we're allowing ourselves to be human beings, being in that receiving energy, divine feminine receiving energy. So wish fulfillment, wish coming true for us this month. What do we need to know? Those of us watching now and on the replay. Okay, so I just heard Midas touch, which I normally get that vibe from the King of Pentacles. So it's almost like you're really doubling down in something. Yes, of course, on the energetic realms, mental realm, emotional realm, but there's something really solidifying you as your wish fulfillment in the 3D this month. Like physical proof, physical, tangible results that you manifested, that you created, that you went out and did that. You did that thing. You got your victory. I mean, this is just following you around. So again, maybe trying to stay out of your head, try to stay out of, all the things that could go wrong, the worst case scenarios, the catastrophes. And even when you're in the thick of some sort of emergency situation, I'm not saying there is an emergency, but just as an example, it's really interesting. The trampoline going over my fence and during that big storm we had this summer, I talked about it a few times. They're wanting me to log on to my other job because they're busy right now. They need more people. I'm popular today. But what I'm seeing energetically is, that emergent situation. I had just finished up my live stream that night and I was looking outside. I'm like, wow, it's really windy right now. And then I went to, just make sure I love my weeping willow tree. I love my choke cherry tree out back. And I was really like invested, making sure they're okay. And I look out, I'm like, the trampoline's gone. The trampoline's gone. It was just gone. So I ran in the only window, this window, and then my boy's window right below this are the only two windows on our house that look west. So I look out their downstairs window and the trampoline's just teetering upside down with the netting on top of our 6-foot chain link fence, ready to go over, ready to topple. And I didn't even have time to think, but just somehow, some way, when those emergent situations come in, it's like I don't even need to think. It's like my spark of God just takes over in those moments. And you might even realize that in moments of stress where your human brain, your human thinking process and logic are trying to get involved, and you're just stepping back and saying, no, my God spark has this. We're just going to move in and know exactly what to do. Again, I don't see anything majorly emergent coming up, but if you're feeling a certain type of way about, I can't do this anymore, or I need to be done with this, or I need to get myself out of the situation, tune more into your true spirit or your I am presence to get you to that next, basically next level. So you're not stuck in the limiting belief of it all, because there's a higher purpose to why things are happening this month. And your wish fulfillment is you're going to be able to make it through with flying colors. So the outcome, and of course I'm going to pull a few different oracles as well, but as far as the tarot portion of this reading for December 2024, what is the outcome? Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah, literally rising above. What was I just saying? You're in your higher mind, your higher power. Oh my gosh, why is this telling me? Sorry, let me check this. So you might have just random things coming in to be like, hey, no, I already did that, and now it's telling me I didn't do that. Again, Mercury retrograde vibes. My other job's telling me I didn't log out, but I know I did on this computer, but somehow I was logged in on this computer. Okay, whatever. It says I'm logged out, so I'm cool with that. But yeah, it's like, no, I already did that. That's already been done. And now the 3D is just lagging behind to catch up. So it's like, stay in your Delulu girl era, be delusional, but it really isn't true delusion, because like we were talking about on the last live stream, it's like playing pretend in your mind. It's not fake. It's not unrealistic. It's actually the most realistic. And it is the true essence of your I am presence, is you can make anything happen. So when you play pretend, it really is you just saying no to the current 3D situation and wanting something better. And yes, it might take linear time for that Delulu girl era to really, open your eyes. You'll be able to see it in your 3D reality, but don't give up, because you've already, in those higher realms, you've already succeeded. That is the theme for us for December. We've already succeeded. So don't let your bank account or, the fact that you're maybe job searching. I know Jess is on the job hunt. Don't let that deter you from the fact that it's already happened. You're in control here. You're in charge here. And this is the month of December energy is emotional contentment, connection, fulfillment. And that would include, to log onto your bank and see, wow, I got more than enough to cover all of this. Like that's an emotionally good feeling that you're tuning into this month. So know that you've already won. You've already manifested the thing. Of course, you're taking that inspired action. You're following your intuition to take any actions that are needed in your 3D reality with your human aspect to make that thing happen solid in the 3D. But it's already happened on those higher realms. It's already happening now. It's already happened. We're not even in December and it's already happening now for you. That's how beautiful this is. All right, so that was the outcome for December. Let's tune into just some oracle cards. Let's go to the sacred, I think it's sacred destiny, sacred something. Sacred destiny. All right. Those of us watching now and on the replay. Hi, Tanya. Yeah, we got Ned from 21 Pilots. It's Hunter Orange. Don't ask me why. That's just what it is. All right, where are we going? What's going on for us in December? Literally, trust that it's already happened. But the reflection that you're seeing in your 3D is a little hazy, a little fuzzy. So don't allow the proof, and I know that sounds so delusional, don't allow the proof of what you're actually seeing with your eyes to deter you from thinking it hasn't happened when it's clearly not happened yet in the 3D. I know that sounds very counterproductive or counterintuitive, but just trust that whatever it is, because think of it, just Nikola Tesla as an example. Think of an idea that he divinely downloaded. First, he had to have the idea or the thought download into his awareness, and then his thought process most likely kicked in, and he probably wrote some notes about it. I mean, you see that there's a chain reaction where it's okay, it's already this invention already exists in those higher realms that he's trying to channel and bring through to the 3D. It's already happened. Now, if he's like, oh, it's already happened, so I'm just going to sit here and wait for it to show up. No, because he hasn't followed through with what he needs to do, his human part needs to do in this. But you trusting that inspired action, your intuition to take those inspired actions, make things happen. Yes, it's already done in those higher realms, but you also want to see it play out in your 3D, most likely. Most likely. So there it is. You're trusting. I want to get one more from this deck. It's really serving today. All right, what else for December? What else do we need to know? Trust the truth. You know the truth. Even if the truth looks very windy, we've got the wind here. Again, it's not a very clear image. And the bottom half of this is kind of like, it's unclear. So it's almost like you holding the faith, holding the trust that the truth is maybe something you can't quite see or can't quite grasp with your 3D reality yet. But that doesn't mean it doesn't exist as you follow those inspired actions. You follow through. That's the name of the game here, is actually following through. All right. The answer is simple, deck. I love this one as well. What else do we need to know for December? Those of us watching now and on the replay for December. And if you're just joining us, hi, Katie. Hi, Tanya. Hi, Solar Siren. Hello, everybody. If you're just joining us, we're doing a December collective reading, and it's pretty impactful so far, if I have anything to say about it. But we're starting anew. And normally you would think, well, the number 1 would be associated with this card, but we have the number 2. Not that kind of number 2. Ew, yuck. But no, this feels like a partnership or you and another person. You have a new beginning with you and another person. Even if things didn't go off the rails with this person, but you're just looking to level up the connection that's already there. Wish granted. Especially with that solar plexus energy. I'm really zoning in on that yellow here. Just feeling confident enough to have that conversation or make that move or, speak your dream into being to someone you trust, something like that. But you're starting something anew. This could be something you've already started, but you're not very happy with it. Or it's just kind of like, I don't know, maybe this isn't for me. But then you're deciding, no, this is for me. This is mine. It's just the way that it exists right now in the 3D. Not really feeling it. So we can either, it is Mercury retrograde through a lot of December. I think it turns direct the 16th, but then, it takes a week to 2 weeks, if we're really being honest, for it to really start moving forward and us to not feel those Mercury retrograde reverberations, if that's the case. So really the whole month of December is just going to feel like a Mercury retrograde in a lot of ways, but yet because Mercury retrograde is us going internal, this is a really great time to really solidify your manifestations in those other realms, spiritual realms, your mental realm, your emotional realm, and then, of course, your physical realm. is kind of the last hurrah with anything that we're trying to bring in. But let's see, we have here, thank God. And we have the number 55. So big changes are coming, and something you have really, really hoped for. Again, you're having that victory. This was the underlying energy card and your best path forward card. And I really should have put it or left it out of the deck, but for some reason, after I got the underlying energy, I put it back in the deck, which I think it was a good thing. It was a good move on my part because there's like a double reflection or double energetic of this coming in for you, for all of us, which is amazing. Just know we've already succeeded. So thank God. And there is a spark of God within you. So thank yourself as well. Don't forget to thank yourself and to talk to yourself about all the things. I love the orange today. Apparently orange, the creative energy, but also the solar plexus with that butterfly. So those two chakras might be really on fire for you in the best possible way in December. So that's your sacral, creative life force energy, ready to make things happen. And then the solar plexus is having the confidence to follow through with that amazing energy. Perfect. But something you've been really hoping for. I'm getting kind of a 3 of Wands vibe from this as well with the ship out there. So something you've been hoping for, praying for, wishing for is going to manifest. And I heard not a moment too soon. Like you've been ready and waiting for this. And it's going to change your life in a really big, good way, like good changes. All right, where are we going next? Let's go to Life Purpose Oracle. Anything else we need to know for the month of December? And, this is kind of a career deck, but wow, that orange energy, that sacral chakra, creative expression. Your soul longs to express itself creatively. So dig out those creative projects. I'm talking to myself as well. I need to dig out those creative projects and get back to work. We also have the sensitivity card. So you're becoming more sensitive and need to make changes accordingly. And sensitive in this regard, I always call this my psychic gifts card in this deck. This is psychic sensitivity. Of course, you're using your physical senses to sense beyond. But I actually really like that this is enhanced with all of this going on. Just know you've already succeeded. You're leveling up. Amazing good surprises. You're manifesting your whole new reality. Good vibes all around, closing out some old cycles, limiting beliefs so that we can move forward. Oh yeah, that's right. We had the 3 of Wands earlier in the reading, and then I was getting the 3 of Wands vibe from this as well. So holy cow, a lot is wanting to manifest. It's just remembering that it's already happened in those higher realms, and then taking that I almost said designer action. So someone here may be designing something, or solidifying a design for something to submit for approval or just to prove it on your own. Very interesting. Okay, so let's put these back, and then I want one more. Let's go to the Money Moves Oracle. It's like a career deck, but not all of them are career. All right, here we go. Alchemy. Well then, what else? Yes. Okay. Using witchcraft, occult, or learning God's secrets. And, witchcraft and occult can be like scary words to people. You don't have to put any more meaning on it than just hidden wisdom, hidden knowledge, tuning into your I am presence that they want to, in the Matrix, they want us to look anywhere but within. They want us to look anywhere but at the fact that we are a spark of the divine. So just keep that in mind. But you're transforming the situation in those more ethereal realms first, and then grounding something into the physical reality. All right, one more from the Money Moves Oracle. And that could even be abundance. That abundance, that job, that career, that business idea, whatever it is, even if it won't fully manifest in December, you can set some energetic groundwork for it in this month. All right, this one's come out as well. And wisdom. Yes. Insight into the nature of physical objects gives you foresight. Use your best judgment. And we have the judgment card here as well. So you're not using your logical human mind judgment. You're using your spiritual judgment to bring something into the physical reality. Because the magician, yes, they do use spiritual tools and gifts, but they ground it in reality. That's the difference, the main difference for me anyway, between the magician and the high priestess is the high priestess is usually mostly working in the unseen and hidden realms, where yes, the magician will dip into those realms, but they manifest something into the 3D physical reality as well. So, and with the judgment card, you're bridging, you're like acting as the bridge from those spiritual realms into the 3D this month. So, yes. And you're using your best spiritual judgment, but also maybe a little bit of your human logical judgment as well. So yes, that is a thing you're doing. And then back of the deck, Love Life. Again, this is a money moves oracle, but Love Life is popping in. So for those of you that are on a journey of love this month, free from problems and money troubles, enjoy the passion of love, love and be loved, love life, love of life. So those of you that already have a decent love life and you're not looking to expand your horizons there, maybe you're just loving life in general more. Or those of you that don't really care to tune into any kind of love reading, this is just you loving yourself, loving your friends, loving your family, loving your pets, loving life, loving your job, loving whatever it is that you want to love. Love and be loved and be open to love. That's that more feminine energy of being open to receive the love. And I just saw the success card on the back as I was putting those away. So, all right, Kirsten has also donated. We had another donation come through email. So after I get all these put away, we're going to update our donation list. We're going to be kicking our donations off with Katie. So yeah, this concludes our December collective reading. Thanks for hanging out with us. I probably should timestamp all of this. I need to get with it. Yes, we're going to use this deck. Put these ones away. And then updating our list real quick. So Kirsten has a full read, and then it looks like 2 1-card reads as well. So I'm going to just update, and then 2 1-card. Okay. And then I know we had a email donation come in. Click over to email from Rhoda. Okay. We get Rhoda for a full read. And Rhoda, when we get to your reading, you can go ahead and post your question. And so I'll put Rhoda, because it appears to me timestamp wise that Rhoda donated before Kirsten's 2 1-card pulls. So I'm going to put Rhoda after Kirsten's first reading, and then we'll do Kirsten's 2 1-card pulls after that. Oh, I need the M in your last name. There we go. Okay. Boom. Okay. Hopefully this looks good for everybody. Yay! I'm glad you enjoyed it, Linda. Yes, absolutely. Okay. So I'm going to copy that to my chat box there so I can update the list as we go. Okay. And Katie is going to kick us off. So I'm going to go back to her email over here. Boom, boom, boom. There's Katie. Okay. So she says, hello, Amanda. I have this cyst that keeps growing on my right ovary. Oh, no. And sometimes it gives me a lot of pain. I'm suffering quite a bit the other night. What is the source of this cyst? I'm curious if it's trapped emotions or something from another lifetime that's caused it, or if it's just for my diet and or environment. Yeah, let's tune into the root cause. Oh, good. She's here. Yay. All right. Root cause of this cyst that keeps persisting for Katie, causing pain, which is never fun, never a good deal. All right. Tuning into the root cause. What is causing this? That's really weird. That's really interesting. So I see you actually have the ability to move this through. It's just stagnant energy that's in your energy field. And it can have to do with removing cords from past romantic interests. And it doesn't mean that you have had to be intimate with these people. This actually is feeling like unrequited love. Like unrequited love from somebody. This feels past energy. So it's not even in your awareness right now. But unrequited love from the past. Especially if this was someone for multiple years that you had a crush on, but you were too shy to tell them, or, you did tell them and they laughed at you, like happened to me once. That was fun. Something like that, to where you can just clear the energy of that. And I'm also seeing this could even be energy. Yes, I'm getting like it's both, it's both, it's both. Energy from someone who had a crush on you that you never knew about, like a secret admirer, but they were too shy to come forward. But somehow, some way, their energy connected in and hooked in. So I'm getting kind of three things. So it's just stagnant energy that just needs to move, unrequited love where you were unrequited from someone else, and then the opposite of that, someone else had unrequited love from you. Which is weird because I'm hearing if you knew this person had a crush on you, you'd have been like, "Oh my god, yes, let's do this thing." But no, they never divulged that information. And intuitively, you might already know who this person is. You just had a vibe or a feeling they liked you and you kind of like them, but neither of you maybe reached out. Very interesting. Hi, John. Oh, that definitely happened to you. Man. Yeah, let's tune into the root cause of this and just see. Yeah, you're going to be able to end this. End this just it hanging around, it kind of flaring up and then kind of going back and then flaring up, going back. They're literally connected, like pulling cords, cutting cords. I like to remove them by the roots, pull cord pulling rather than just cutting them. But one little hot tip that I've been doing just in my own healing and the healings that I do for people here and there is before I cut or remove those cords, what I do is I pull everything that's mine back through that cord. Anything that they've taken from me that is mine. So in your case, Katie, anything that's yours, and you don't even have to tune into each individual cord. You're tuning into any stagnant energy overall, and then of course those unrequited love from you to someone else, and then that unrequited love from someone else to you. So there's at least three cords here. But again, you don't have to tune in and do it individually for each one. You can just do this as a big one and done. And I'm seeing you'll already see massive results with the pain levels on this thing. And it's just gonna. When I just heard corpus luteum, is that, correct me if I'm wrong, is that the thing that stays behind after the cyst ruptures? Or the, not cyst itself, but the egg. After the egg is released, the corpus luteum. Because I'm having something to do with the reproductive cycle of it most likely flares up worse when you are kind of in the ovulation stage. And a lot of women, not a lot of women, but some women, me specifically, oh my gosh, every month I can tell you when I mean, I guess it's been great for any kind of like natural birth control for sure. I know when I'm ovulating or kind of the days leading up because it hurts. It hurts. But this definitely, what I'm getting for you is this really flares up around ovulation time and then it's kind of calm, cool, and collected kind of the rest of the time. So it almost is like that. I think it's called like Mittelschmerz or something. It's like a German name for ovulation pain. You can look it up if you want. I feel like there's some of this going on as well in tandem with this cyst that's kind of persistent. Yeah, so it's kind of like a mixed bag. Like energetically speaking, it's a mixed bag. But yeah, you clearing that just stagnant energies, there may be multiple cords. You can intuitively tune in. You have the ability and power absolutely to do this on your own. You do not need to hire a healer or anyone else. You have the power. You can do this all on your own, Katie, just with your intention and you're assuming this is happening, this is working, and it will work. You'll be able to heal this. And anytime that you do get that middle schmerz or whatever that's called with the ovulation pain that has nothing to do even with the cyst itself, you can tune in and say, okay, whatever is the root cause of this, let me see whatever lessons involved here or what have you. And let's just be done with this because I don't want to have to do this. Yeah, I don't see you having to pay anyone to get this moving because I'm seeing your body, once you clear the energy that's connecting in here, your body can easily just like disintegrate or kind of reabsorb or resorb or whatever it's called, the cells or whatever, and then take care of it just kind of naturally on its own. Like your body has the ability to do that. And if you really want to have like 3D physical concrete proof, something you can do is hit yourself and it's difficult if you're not into intermittent fasting at all, to hit these levels. But once you hit about 17 hours from your last meal, your body kicks into something called autophagy, which means self-eating. So it'll go in and eat up or, reabsorb all of the cells that are just not vital or don't need to be there anymore. You can kick off autophagy. I think it's anywhere between 17 to 19 hours into your intermittent fast. And then if you make it a full 24 hours, you can do a full gut reset for yourself. And I know a 24-hour fast is not easy for most people, but if you can do all this energy work and then top it off with like a 17 and 19-hour fast, or even going above that and beyond that and doing like a dinner to dinner, or whatever meal you're eating, and then going till that same time the next day before you have that next meal, that will almost just take care of it on its own. But the energy, it'll persist, no pun intended, if you don't do the energy part as well. So I know if you're anything like me, it's like, okay, I did all this energy work, but like I want something physical or concrete to do or focus on. And that's where the whole law of assumption thing has been difficult for me, because it's like, no, I am God. So like it's happening. There's that human part of me that's just like, but I want something to do. I need something to do. I need some homework here. So I guess if you want something to do, your homework would just be maybe throwing a 17 to 24-hour fast at this thing, and you'll see it. And the fast is best to do a fast that long the first 10 days of your cycle. So day 1 is like bleeding through, day 10, and then days 16 through 19. So after ovulation, those handful of days after ovulation, those are the best times to do the longer fasts. You don't want to do a longer fast during ovulation or leading up to, your cycle again, because your body needs that food coming in for your progesterone. And then of course, during the ovulation, the testosterone and progesterone that all need to kind of form that trifecta with your estrogen to get that going. Let's just see if there's anything else Katie needs to know about this. No, you can walk away from it. You can be done with it. Literally. Yeah. Just with using your own abilities, your own power, your own spiritual abilities of healing. And of course, if you want to throw that fast at it, get it done. Like that's what you're just going to get it done. And then, yay, no more pain. So you don't have to go to a doctor. You don't have to have any kind of ultrasounds. You don't have to go to some energy healer. This is something you can take care of all on your own, Katie. So you have fasted before, so that's definitely something I will do to help with this thing. Yeah. So wherever you are in your cycle now, just kind of keep in mind, days 1 through 10 are optimal, as are days 16 through 19. But if you're someone who has a really long cycle or a wonky cycle, I'd say your best bet is that first 10 days, because okay, I'm in the first 10 days. The testosterone doesn't need all this support yet. The progesterone doesn't need all this support yet. So I can easily fast when estrogen's high and take this thing out, because your body, the intelligence of your body, it doesn't even need your intention with that. Your body will just go in like, this cyst is persistent. We're getting it out. Like, why is this here? Let's get it out of here. Especially if you've already done the energetic work, your body's just be like, what the heck are you doing here? Get out. Like a bouncer, 86 and I'm out of the place. Yes. Amazing. Yeah, the human body is so amazing, and we've been told that we need all of this outside help. I mean, yes, sure, for certain things, absolutely. But for something like this, I don't see that you do. It feels very minor to me as far as the level of involvement you need to do to even get it to go. So, heck yeah, Katie, you got this. You'll have to report back after, you do it, and then you have that time of the cycle where this always is like a problem. You'll have to come let us know. I'm always curious to see how well these things work. Yes, you're so welcome. Absolutely. All right, Kirsten. We're going to get into Kirsten's first question. So, Rhoda, you are on deck. So, Rhoda, if you want to go ahead and post your question now and just have it in the chat, that works for me. Or if you did want to wait until after Kirsten's reading, that also works. Just if it is available once Kirsten's reading's over, we can just transition right into your reading really seamlessly. All right. So let me get a quick drink of water. Kirsten, and a quick drink of peppermint coffee. Mushroom coffee, to be specific. Oh, and I ordered a whole new coffee thing because the lid on my black one that you guys see me use completely cracked and shattered. I used it so much, and I've kind of learned my lesson because I bought this because I'm like, I need a new lid, and then I guess I could just use the lid for either one, because it was basically cheap enough to just buy this with a lid rather than just buy one single lid. Or I could buy a 5-pack for the same price, but I'm like, I don't need 5 lids for 1 cup. Like, that's Why can't I just have one lid at a decent price? But I get it, capitalism. But the little slider already broke, so like we're already back in weird territory with this. And I think what's doing it is me putting this lid in the dishwasher. Like intuitively, I'm like, yeah, I think that's what's doing it because it's like cracking this hard plastic, and then over time, not it's no cracks yet, but I think that's what happened to my old one. So yay! And I think it's cute. It's fun little tumbler. So I guess I will just put on my Christmas list 5 clear lids. Because I guess now that I got 2 cups, or have 2 cups, use proper English, Amanda. Proper grammar. Now that I have 2 cups, I guess to have a little stockpile of extra lids wouldn't be the worst thing ever. But I don't know. I don't like having all sorts of extras on hand just in case. Unless it's food, that's different. But I like to keep my cupboards more minimal as far as cups and dishes and stuff like that. Otherwise, I can't find anything. The way my boys, when they empty the dishwasher, which is part of their chores, they just put things wherever they'll fit, and I hate that. So keep it minimal so they know exactly it goes here, here, here. All right, let's tune in. I don't know why the long spiel on that, but I guess you guys needed to hear about it. So Kirsten wants to know, should she try dating Michael again or just be good friends? Okay, let's kind of do that scenario where dating Michael as one selection and then remaining friends as another, and just see what we get here. Because I'm already seeing the connection would be a great friendship. Like I'm totally getting a friendship vibe from this, just already tuning in. But let's just see as far as maybe trying a relationship again, dating. Or now reading of just remaining friends and just seeing where that goes. Okay, so for dating, okay, yeah. Either one or both of you, I see this more on your end though, actually, but it doesn't mean he can't actually have these vibes as well. But whatever made it not work last time, you're afraid maybe on your end that the same thing will happen again. And this does feel past life related, not past as in you're dating past with him in this life, but past life. It's interesting because it feels like you and him were brothers, both of you brothers in a past life, to where now dating, there's like that element of you that maybe somehow energetically remembers, and you were brothers that got along, which I guess can be a rare thing sometimes, brothers that get along, although it's not unheard of. You guys were really great friends as brothers in that life. So you're almost kind of bringing that brotherly love aspect into this life. And that's maybe why you're kind of in your head, like, this feels more like my brother or my friend, but yet there is some attraction here. So it kind of almost confuses you. And he might have a little bit of that going on his end as well. As far as being friends, yes. If that's what you want, you can have that. Absolutely. This is a victory card. This is a success card. Friendship really does look like your best bet here. But let's just tune in that if you did date again, what would happen? What would happen? Yeah, it would end again. I do see it ending again. Not to say your whole relationship as far as friendship and everything goes, but once I said that, I'm like, but you don't want to maybe dip back into this and then actually sabotage the potential for a friendship. That's what it is. Yeah. So I would say your best bet would be to just focus on a friendship. And, if along the way things do develop, feelings are feelings, follow the feelings. But as far as you really focusing on Michael's relationship with you as a friendship, what can you expect? Yeah, you'll be able to strengthen the bond even more and feel really supported and really connected to each other. Again, like a brotherly love kind of way. Really supportive. Like you'll be very supportive friends for each other. Even if one or the other of you gets in a relationship, it feels like you can still remain friends to where it's not going to cross the romantic line, or no one's going to be jealous about, oh, your friend Michael, or, if Michael's dating someone, oh, your friend Kirsten. It feels supportive. Like they can be your friend too, or, your significant other could be Michael's friend too. Like that's what it feels like. Yeah. Being able to manifest. You have 3 major arcanas for your friendship. So it is a big part of your life. It's a significant part of your life. And I do think that's why you're wanting it to be romantic, is because he feels more significant than just a friend. But this is most likely why is there is that energy from that past life. And yeah, you are, yeah, I feel like he's not into me as I am into him. And I think, and that's where this is coming in, is you're kind of in your head about it. And I said it's more on your end than his as far as the attraction and the romance goes. Most likely that is the case. I think you're right on with that. It doesn't mean there's no attraction on his end, but it's just enough that he's fine being friends, and he's not going to try to, if you are friends for a really long time, try to take it to the next level. He's just really content to be friends. Yeah, but let's just see long-term friendship. What do you need to know? All right. Yeah, literally putting in the effort, putting in the work, calling each other, showing up for each other, supporting each other, because it's worth the commitment as friends. Yeah. All right. Anything else Kirsten needs to know about her connection with Michael? Yeah, just balance, give and take, hanging out, spending time alone. Have a very balanced approach to your connection with Michael, and things seem very just flowing. They're flowing well. They're going well. Once you just establish that, okay, we're friends, and that's all I want it to be. And even if on your end, Kirsten, there's some romantic attraction, I see that if you go into the future of your connection, like maybe starting now, that okay, he's a good friend. That attraction that you have toward him that's besides friendship will start to go away. I actually see that starting to go away as you just focus on him as a friend. It will go away. So you won't be like, best friends or really good friends with this guy that you're also in love with, which is hard, I think. Because I was kind of on the receiving or other end of that with my best friend, John. Years and years and years, he was, I guess, as he confessed, was in love with me the whole time. And I had no idea. I mean, we'd flirt all the time, but I thought, no, it's because we're just so close. Like we're more than friends, but not in a romantic way. It was so weird. Like if I could have climbed inside his bones and worn him as a coat, I still wouldn't have been close enough to him. That's the kind of connection we had. But yeah, on my end, it wasn't romantic. On his end, seemingly the whole time it was. So it was a very complicated, I guess, connection. It is starting to go away because I don't feel, okay, there you go. So just allow it to naturally just kind of flow out so that you can, have a new beginning as the Ace of Pentacles drops to the floor. So that you can just reestablish your connection as, okay, purely platonic, we're friends, it's cool. Soulmate energy, obviously there's a soulmate connection here, but it's in this life meant to be more on the friend level. Let's just get some advice, since I feel like we wrapped that up pretty quick. Let's just get some advice for the friendship in the future. Just anything Kirsten needs to know. And this is a love deck, but also, actually, no, I want to use this one. This is love and relationships. So just your best advice moving forward in your connection with Michael as friends. We have this one, open-heartedness. I know that life and people living it can be an absolute bummer sometimes, but I promise not to let unhappy chapters make me jaded. And this really feels like it's talking more about the past than the future. So advice, stay out of your head about, oh, this is just going to, happen the same way it did last time. I don't see that it will. So if I let negative experiences turn me sour, then the jerks win. So I'll move on with an open and hopeful heart, if only because I hate losing to jerks. Yeah. So that's what I see, is you just being able to move forward. Oh, he did cheat on you. Okay. And I think that's why there's that just little bit of animosity. Again, past. This isn't going to happen again, obviously, if you are just in a friendship. I mean, I guess you could cheat on friends with other friends or something like that. But energetically, it's like that cord feels, if it's still connected to you, it feels like there's not much energy going between it anymore, if any. So you can even just clear those old cords and then just reestablish your mindset and your heart as, okay, he's my friend. He's very important to me, especially on a spiritual level. He is very important to you. And you don't even have to sit here and pick apart, like, what lessons did I learn from that? You don't even have to go down any of those roads. Just clearing the old cords to support new life, new cords between you is key. So absolutely. Friendship for the win. Yeah, victory in your friendship. Yay. Yeah, if he did cheat on you before, I think that would always be, if you did try to date again, it always would be in the back of your mind. Like, what is he doing now? Is he going to do it again? And yeah. All right, let's move to Rhoda's reading. What is an ancestral wound that runs through my family? I love that question. Wow. And there's so much power in uncovering these things. I'm sure I'm already hearing what we uncover. You're going to be like, yeah, that tracks. That makes sense. Um, I'm already getting like a poverty, like, not that you're in poverty, but there's just this mindset around money that you have to work hard for it, or you have to just give your blood, sweat, and tears to make a dime. Like that's what I see. Oh, you're scared to hear it. No. Oh, I saw this try to flip and then I kept shuffling, but here it is again. That karma that has to do with being able to, you know, again, it has very much to do with stability, security, finances, being afraid maybe even to branch out and move away from certain areas, certain people, certain relationships, certain jobs. You feel like, well, if I leave this behind, I can't guarantee that that next thing, that next relationship, that next job is going to be able to support me or help me or support me in some, not just financially, but emotionally. So there might even be, yeah, it feels very lack mentality, not just though in money at times, also emotional. Like if I'm too vulnerable and this person doesn't return my love, then I'm going to feel like I got burned. So there might have been people in the family line, even ones in the generations above you, because I feel like you're breaking these curses or these cycles within the ancestral wounding where they wouldn't open their heart 100%. And this feels like one parent, like the mother's line, your mother's line specifically, where even if they could open their heart to you, there were other people they were just really closed off emotionally toward. And you would at times even feel that from the mother and the mother's family, like, extended family, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins. Not every single person, though, is going to be directing that at you. But as far as how you can kind of tune in, there may be certain people in that family line that you just didn't feel that emotional love or that security or stability with, be it financial or emotional. But let's just see if there's anything else we need to add to this for Rhoda. All right. Family wounds, ancestral wounds. Well, you're breaking the cycle, whatever this is. We've already tuned in the whole lack, financial stuff. But you're the one. It's you. You, maybe even a couple others in your generation in this line are like, yeah, I don't want to continue like this. So you're going to show, not like you're proving anything to anyone, but you're just showing up more successful, most likely financially, emotionally available than these others in the family line. You're going to be able to move past it, move beyond it. Yeah, literally walking away. Like this isn't my reality anymore. And then there's some lack mentality there. Yeah, you're moving through this lack. You're not allowing it. You're speaking it into being as this is not my reality moving forward. Even if it was in your past, maybe your childhood or certain times in your life where you were feeling that kind of poverty curse come through, or you have to work really super hard for every little thing you get in life, that you're closing out. You're closing that out. Let's actually go to the Angels and Ancestors Oracle, see if there's any other words of advice or wisdom. Because I'm feeling like these ancestors are proud of you for breaking that curse or that energy, that wound, because they weren't strong enough to do it. Most likely because just the community and the time, the certain times that things happen, it just doesn't support. And what I actually see, Rhoda, is a female in the mother's line. This feels like great grandmother energy. And great great grandmother. So your mom's great grandmother and her great great grandmother, not your great grandmother, but your mom's great and great great grandmothers, both wanted to leave their marriages, but they felt stuck because for the time you couldn't just divorce and la-di-da, I'm gonna go get a job over here. People wouldn't a lot of times hire women. Women couldn't own property. Women were really thought of as property. So you're breaking a curse in that regard. Maybe even to where you've had to break off certain connections to take care of your own energy and your own heart, to recharge your energy, to retreat from something that just wasn't in alignment anymore. And you had the prerogative to be able to walk away, where previous generations couldn't follow through with that because of the times they were living in. Wow, that's really powerful. So they are proud of you for sticking to your guns about something that you know is a no-go for you. Yeah. Wow, 2 cards about retreating or reflecting, taking time. This is something that you know, time was a commodity. You know, it still is in ways, but back then it was like if you weren't grinding and working really hard, making that money or supporting that household or whatever it is, I mean, there was no time to just sit and meditate and watch the clouds a lot of the times back in these, especially that your mother's, so this would be your great great grandmother and your great 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 grandmother somewhere in your mother's family tree. So they, you know, even if they were stay at home, whatever, take care of the house and the homesteads or, you know, whatever it was, they didn't have time to just sit and daydream or follow their own dreams at all because they were busy from sun up to sundown and, you know, having kids and just so much that's put on the feminine energies in these ancestral lines for you that was just, it was just expected. It wasn't even, you know, appreciated or any of that. And that's what you're breaking the curse of or clearing this wound of, is bringing that appreciation back, bringing back self-care, bringing back the ability, you know, for you to be able to speak your truth. And it's like having your cake and eating it too, energetically speaking. It's about being able to not just have to make an excuse like, well, I was sick, so I didn't get that thing done, or I should have done this, but I couldn't because of that. Like, you don't even have to, like, no is a complete sentence. And that's what I'm hearing is, especially when you're feeling fine, but you're just like not, I don't want to have to work overtime this week, or I don't want to have to, you know, host Thanksgiving, or, you know, whatever it is, to where you can just set a boundary and people finally start to respect that. Even if you're currently going through certain boundaries you're trying to set or have set in the past where people just keep invading those boundary lines, because your mission here is not over yet. So if you're feeling like you're still very much in some of this energy, but yet not in other ways, you're still working your way through it, especially where your boundaries are concerned, especially about being able to just make that choice to walk away what's no longer serving you, instead of being like the ride or die to that energy, or to feel like, well, this is, I agreed to this, so I guess I just got to keep on going. No, you can say no at any time and change your mind at any time and shift at any time. All right, let's just see if there's any advice or wisdom still yet to come for Rhoda in clearing this ancestral wounds. There's a few of them. Anything else she needs to know? Yeah, you're healing through them. You're moving away from them. These are two very similar energies in the deck. And when I first got a tarot deck back in like 1997, these two felt very similar to me. It wasn't until later. It's usually that this one's like, I'm just done. And you can, sometimes this can indicate that I'm actually going on a quest to bring back that 9th cup of wish fulfillment, but I'm not getting that vibe for you. You're done. You're ready to walk away from this wound and clear it for anyone that comes after you. But then this card, it really is about being able to communicate very clear boundaries and then moving in a direction that feels good to you. Even if you don't know exactly where you're going on this destination, you're just knowing that what's behind you is so not it for you anymore. And I also call this my internet card. So maybe you're even doing some sort of communication, be it online or through, you know, phone or text or something, to where you're giving very clear boundaries to people, and they are actually starting to reciprocate those boundaries or to respect those boundaries, where before it just wasn't happening. Oh, that made so much sense. Yay. Let's just see. Let's get one final card before we close out Rhoda's reading. Anything else Rhoda needs to know about these ancestral wounds? Yes, you're transforming them. You're alchemizing them. You're going from caterpillar energy to butterfly energy. You're no longer following down the family line as a caterpillar. And even though at times you may still feel very much in your chrysalis or cocoon phase, just know that at the very least you're still not in that caterpillar phase. And eventually that chrysalis will, you know, that butterfly will emerge from the chrysalis. That's what I'm trying to say. And that chrysalis, that chrysalis really is you, your own divine feminine energy, keeping you in this healing and kind of That rest and retreat card we got from this deck. You taking care of yourself, doing that self-care, self-love is acting as the chrysalis for you to transform. Love that. Yay. Yeah. This is, yeah, you're not going to perpetuate these cycles into future generations. These are ending with you. Yeah, that karma is done. That karma is clearing with you. So know that you're powerful, Rhoda, and stick to your guns. Stick to your boundaries if you have certain boundaries. And you may find that over the years you do end up walking away from certain people, certain jobs, certain relationships, because it's just, you just know in your bones it's not for you anymore, and you deserve better, and you're claiming better by walking away. So yay, Rhoda, that's so uplifting. Yeah, I mean, scary, sure, to try to tune in and see what's going on, but what came through, you've got it handled. You're working your way through it. If not, you've already done a lot of the heavy lifting where this is concerned. So I'm seeing you're at least 75% of the way there. So if you feel like you have all this left to do, it feels like that last 25%, you're going to be, I mean, it's going to feel like a lot less work than all that other work you've done, that other 75% of the work that you've done. So you're mostly there. Yay, Rhoda. All right, so we're gonna tune back into Kirsten, and I think it was Marlene. I thought I saw an email come through from Marlene. Yes, one card pulled from Marlene. Let me add you to the list. So we're gonna get into Kirsten's. She's got 2 1 cards, and then Marlene. So we're working our way down the list. Not Marlies, Marlene. 1 card. Oops, not 10 card. 1 card. Well, hey, knowing me, some of my 1 cards could be a 10 card. You never know. You never know what you're getting with me. Not 1 card. Card. All right. Mercury retrograde is showing up. There we go. That's what we're working with. All right. So Kirsten already has her questions up here in Super Chat. So she wants a life purpose reading. All right. And this is something I always say is we don't just have usually one big life purpose. And if there is just one big life purpose, it's literally to wake up and realize that this really is the dream. We're literally living the dream, and reality is when we're not incarnated. So I'd say if we're going to tune into every and anyone that has a true spirit's life purpose, it would be to wake up. Wake up. So, and I think you've already done that. So you're well on your way. But you may have a lot of other life purposes, and life purpose doesn't always have to be your career. You can definitely be living or fulfilling your life purpose while in your career. But for most people, it actually comes through just your everyday living, everyday life. But let's tune in for Kirsten and just see life purpose reading. What does she need to know? All right, healing. You being a healer, you doing healing, and this can include your coaching, your tarot, anything that you do that brings this healing vibe to yourself or to others. Just you showing up as a good friend and giving people advice could be you living your purpose. You're also meant to work online. This is my internet card. So there's some sort of online thing that you're doing as part of your life purpose. Just you being this beacon of light on Instagram or on Facebook, on YouTube, wherever, whatever it is you're saying or doing online heals people. It benefits people in some way. All right. What else does Kirsten need to know about this life purpose? Well, at least part of your life purpose is going to support you and bring you recognition, especially after a hard time, which I know you've already been through quite a few hard times between now and your past. So you've overcome things, and sometimes YouTube gets mad if I show that. So we'll just do that. You know what it is. So this really is about you not settling, you shooting literally for the stars in your business, in your relationships, in just you feeling like a capable, amazing human being / spirit, right? Not settling. Don't settle. That's why I keep hearing, don't settle. Your life purpose is not to settle for less than you deserve. And we can all do that from time to time. But let's just see anything else Kirsten needs to know about her life purpose. It's time to decide. Make a decision that is based on your heart's true desires. And that is not you settling. That's based on your heart's true desires. Those desires were put there because they are meant for you. They exist in those higher realms, like we were talking about in our December reading. It's just about claiming them, writing them down, following the action steps to make them show up in the 3D reality. So and I say between now and February, that's kind of the time frame coming in here. But part of your life purpose also involves teaching. And I know you have been a teacher and we're thinking about becoming like fully a teacher and all of this. And you can still do that as well. But I actually just see that whatever it is you're doing in your communications and any healing that you're doing, it is acting as you being a teacher for others. So you definitely have the teacher vibe. And I know that we've tuned into this plenty of times before for you as well. I just want to go to the archetype card deck as well. Any themes that Kirsten will see that involve her life purpose? Any themes? Woo! All right. So we have, okay. Interesting. This is not literal. I will read the light attributes. So you will know you're living in your purpose when this is the case. This accentuates the challenge of surviving, paying bills, going to work, all the things, without negotiating the power of your spirit. So don't settle. What were we just saying? Yes. So you'll know you're kind of, and I don't know that we can ever be fully out of alignment of our purpose, but this will let you know that you're out of alignment with your purpose. You place material considerations and security above you feeling good or your self-empowerment. So if you're only working a job because it's paying the bills, but it's sucking your life dry, you know you're out of alignment. But if you are making sure the power of your spirit is on and popping in whatever it is you're doing, you're on your mission, you're on your purpose. And then we also have the dilettante or dilettante. Dilettante, I think that's, I don't know. It sounds very French. I don't speak a lick of French except c'est la vie. I think that's French. Merci, I think that means thank you. I'm learning things already. But yes, the light attribute lets you know you're in your purpose when you delight in the arts without having to be a professional. That means you don't have to monetize everything that you're good at. And guilty. I try to do that too. So I'm not calling you out. I think a lot of us light workers, earth angels, whatever you want to label, do this. And then alert you to the danger of becoming superficial in your pursuits. Just making something just to make $1. And I think that kind of goes back to this energy of you want to do something that lights you up. And then the shadow attribute is pretension and too much deeper knowledge than you actually possess. Oh, pretension to too much deeper. I don't know. That's kind of grammatically weird way to say that. But what I get with this is not just learning something to regurgitate it, but you learn something, you put it into practice in your own life, and then you teach it in such a way that it really resonates with people because it's a real world example. It's your life story example. So you can almost use your life story, Kirsten, as your blueprint for how you move forward. Wow. Pretty powerful. Oh my gosh, amazing. I love it. All right, Kirsten. So that was your 1 card read. I don't think we quite made it to 10 cards, but like, you guys know me. I can never, it's like, you can't eat just one. You can't pull just one. All right. So Kirsten's next question involves general business guidance. Okay. Actually, I just heard tune into this deck. The Wake me up, tarot. I always forget the name of this one. All right, tuning in. Yeah, it does sound like a life coach, doesn't it? And I know that is very involved. And I do see that as part of your path, absolutely. But maybe as you kind of get started, you're almost acting as a life coach in other things that you're doing that then just become, eventually you just stumble right into life coaching. It's almost like people are seeking you out and then you're like, oh, wow, damn, they want this. Okay, so I better get set up and let's go. Yeah, absolutely. All right, business reading. Ugh, excuse the phlegm stuff. Yuck. Business guidance. Business guidance for Kirsten. What does she need to know? Business guidance for the lovely Kirsten tuning into her true spirit. Okay. So I can see that you're overwhelmed right now. There's maybe something you're deciding not to do or have recently decided just, yeah, that's probably not going to be it for me, which is good. I actually love this energy here because new beginning with that 10. So you're narrowing something down. This is helping you narrow something down. Wow. Again, something you want to feel very creative, very intuitive when you're doing. And if something doesn't, much like this almost feels like an extended of your other life purpose reading, but more specific to just career in general. You want a career or deserve or desire a career where it's not like just this robotic, automatic, I know I do these three things at work every single day in my business, whatever. You don't want that robotic. I mean, of course, there's always going to be your expenses and your taxes and your, I got to buy supplies or, whatever it is. There's always going to be that portion of the business that'll be there, I think, until we don't have to pay taxes anymore. It'll just be there. But as far as the nuts and bolts, the nitty gritty, roll your sleeves up and actually get to work in your business, it has to be something you intuitively feel very connected to, and something that feels creative. And again, this does not have to be interior design or painting or singing or drawing. It doesn't have to be creative in that regard, but just the way I'm seeing that 6 of Swords again, just creative solutions in how you show up and heal yourself and others. Yeah, this is just so whatever it is you're meant to do for work is very centrally tied to your life purpose. That's not the case for everybody, but it is for you. It really does feel. And if you're working a job just to be able to pay the bills to get to the next step, I get it. Like that can be a thing. That can be a thing you're doing. But when you ultimately land on something that just feels really good and supportive, even if it is a stepping stone that leads you to the next stepping stone that leads you to the big idea, whatever it is, along the way, you do want to feel emotionally invested and creatively connected to what it is you do. Business guidance. Let's get her some advice and guidance in her business. Yeah, again, there's something you're deciding to close out. Something that you thought, okay, this is definitely going to be my path moving forward. You're just deciding, nah. And it's interesting. This might actually be being a teacher. But again, your life purpose involves teaching. So you're still going to be able to be a teacher, but just in ways that are not, because I'm seeing the Hierophant, not as traditional as like, I'm a 3rd grade teacher. It's you're still maybe working with women or children or that, but it's not in the traditional way. So you've kind of let go, Kirsten, or will let go of traditional ways of operating, traditional ways of starting or forming a business. You're letting go of tradition. The patriarchy, let it fall. That's what I'm hearing. Let it fall. The traditional way of doing things, you're letting it fall. I feel like I'm missing something, like I need a light bulb moment. Yeah, I feel the same way with this. But how funny, lightning is literally striking here to kind of let you realize that, oh, the foundation with which I tried to build this business or that business or this side hustle or that thing or going back to school for this, that was fundamentally not what I was supposed to do. So you are going to have that literal light bulb, lightning strike moment. Look, the lightning is striking the cake. It's the Tower card. The lightning strikes the Tower. So yes, the Tower can be chaotic energy. It's one of my birth cards. So like when I see the Tower come up in my reading, I'm like, oh, it's game on. I do not fear the Tower anymore. I used to. But now I'm like, no, something needs to fall apart so I can have stability, so I can have security, so I can feel what I want to feel. Something has to give. And that's very similar energy with what you have going on here. And that's just part of the thing with business is there's so many things that are up in the air energetically for you that it could be any one thing. You wouldn't even have to settle for one main business idea. And I know we've tuned into this for you before, Kirsten. It's about just maybe prioritizing, like just an example, if it's the affiliate marketing, you're prioritizing that for a stint, for a while, until it's you've learned the ins and outs of it. It's kind of just producing in the background. You're not really having to do much with it. And once you hit that mark in the affiliate marketing, then you can say, okay, now what about this tarot side hustle? Okay, let me, I don't know, just an example. I'm not saying this is your exact scenario, but I'm going to start a YouTube channel and just sling a couple of videos a week and just see what happens. And then see, this is building, that's building. People are reaching out for you for one-on-one consultations or sessions. And just kind of starting one thing, getting it operational, starting another, getting it operational, because I see you do have the potential to have two, no more than three for sure, but at least two things that are like your main source of income that you kind of split your time between. And then there may be a third thing that's kind of very, very, very part-time, but it still brings you a significant amount of income. And this is over like the next 5 years. I see this like a 5-year time span. Yeah, I haven't found my niche yet for business. I feel like I can only teach something I've succeeded in. And that's the thing. So many of us are like, well, I haven't completely mastered this thing. So like, no one needs to hear my 2 cents about it. But that's so wrong. Because all you need, Kirsten, is to be 2 to 3 to 4 steps ahead of somebody that you are teaching or trying to coach or help succeed in whatever it is. You just need to be 2, 3, 4, 5 steps ahead. You don't need to be a light year ahead, a leap year ahead, 4 years ahead. No, just a step or two. Well, at least probably 2 to 3 to 4 steps ahead. But you don't have to be completely mastered before you even hit the ground running on anything. If that was the case, I probably still wouldn't have even started any of my online tarot stuff because I'm like, well, I haven't mastered this yet. I mean, I've been doing it since 1997. I mean, there were times throughout the years here and there where I'd barely pick up a deck for a year, but the energy of it has been in my life since 1997. But I kept denying it. Like, oh, I don't know. This feels like my imagination. This feels like pretend. Something really weird unlocks within me when I pick up this deck and I see all these things and it kind of scares me. So like, I don't know, maybe this isn't my path. And sometimes what does scare you actually is your path, because a lot of times outside forces come in to make you feel fearful, make you feel anxious about your path, make you feel like you're unworthy, or who am I to teach people this? I haven't mastered this yet. Well, as long as you're at least a few steps ahead of them, you have some very good insight that they don't have yet because you're ahead of them. So you could purely be working with beginners. And even as you were working with beginners, you're also leveling your skills up, your self-development up to where eventually you'll be able to work with intermediate. And then you're continuing working with these intermediates and working toward, really mastering something. And then eventually you can help people master. So what I'm seeing is your business will evolve as you do. So maybe, you're just starting, again, as an example, you're teaching Tarot 101 to people who have barely ever picked up a tarot deck. And then once you really feel strong and secure in your knowledge or just intuitive knowing about tarot, maybe then you're doing like a 201 more intermediate course or teaching or whatever. Again, just an example. Because as you gain the confidence and you step into that murky, scary water of let me just get started. And then you're working with people on the very starting line, starting blocks. And as you get confidence in working with them, you're also up-leveling your skills to where eventually when they become the intermediates, you can work with them in the intermediate and also work with a new crowd of beginners. So I don't see your business ever just reaching a point and then you're just churning it out. I see you just continuing to evolve and grow and expand. And maybe at certain points you kind of compact again because you're like, I just need a break. I need a timeout. But then you can expand again when the time is right. Like, it's not just this linear trajectory of upward focus and balance. It feels very squiggly and, going off on this, but supportive. It feels supportive. So there's no just one way up the mountain of your business trajectory here for you, Kirsten. And if at any point you're looking to pivot, that's your prerogative. Especially if you're owning your own businesses, you can pull the plug on it. You can expand it. You can just kind of tread water with it. It's all up to you. Yeah, I know this was one card read. We went a little long on it, but I just want you to know that you don't have to have it all figured out to just get yourself started. You really don't. Yeah. And we really do live in the era of any single person could hang their shingle and be like, I'm in business. And maybe some of those people probably shouldn't, but I don't get that vibe from you. Like, you have enough experience and enough wisdom and enough knowledge and enough real world, experience, I guess, for lack of a better word, to be able to at least get started with people who are, younger than you or behind the curve of where you've reached. Yeah. Oh, the clock says 222 and you appreciate it. Aw. I like to reach to teach weight loss, but I haven't lost any weight. And that's the thing is sometimes that's the thing with those who can't do teach. Have you heard that before? That can totally be the case. But a lot of times, um, when you do put this dream out there, especially if it's a personal dream of yours to be able to lose that weight, because you have, when the time comes and you've lost that weight, you are like a living, walking, breathing example of the weight loss story, the weight loss journey. And of course, the people you're working with, their journey, their story, their trajectory may not look exactly like yours, but you have at least, wow, she's a success story. But if for some reason you never do reach that, I don't see that being your case. So I don't even know that we need it. You're going to make it happen. You're going to figure it out. You're going to have your own weight loss journey that you can then teach others the tools and tricks and tips that you learned, even if they do them in a different way. Because again, everyone's journey is slightly different or maybe vastly different. But you're going to be a living, walking, breathing example. I keep seeing that. But don't feel you can't get started until you've lost the weight or whatever it is. As long as you're on your own self journey, you have that experience already. Because maybe in the past you have lost some weight and then it's come back. So you already have that experience that maybe some of these people are just starting with. So don't feel you can't do it just because you haven't reached the end or the finish line, because you can get started. And in fact, I see when you do get started, that's going to be the inspiration you need to light that fire under you to do it. Not that anyone outside of you is going to be the catalyst for it, but it acts as like fuel or motivation to help you just really hit your goals, whatever they may be. So big hugs to you, Kirsten. Yeah, and you don't have to have it all figured out. Just get started and then take the next step and then take the next step. And I know when I first started, just this YouTube life, for probably 3 years before I started, because I knew in 2016, I want to do this. I feel a pull, I feel a calling toward YouTube. I want to do it. And I knew it was going to be tarot related. I knew it. Or spirituality of some kind. I knew it. The writing was there, but I'm like, I'm barely, I'm a beginning writer. No one wants to hear me give writing tips. I felt that. Although I did have an AuthorTube channel as well. So in 2019, I just said enough's enough. I'm going to just go. I'm just going to start and just see what happens. And then things started happening. And then I got shadow banned. So wah, wah. But hey, I'm not saying you're going to get shadow banned. It most likely won't happen to you. Your psychiatrist is putting you on Binance. I hope I'm saying that right. For binge eating and trying to get me on GLP-1 shots for my insulin resistance. Yeah. And sometimes you just do want or need just something to get you to get started. You know what I mean? So if you feel that is in your best interest, then you follow that guidance, because whatever it is that's going to help you get started, you may decide later, yeah, I don't know if this is for me, but I tried it and now I know. And then now I can try this or that, or something will come to your awareness that can really benefit you. So I'm glad that you are at least looking at options, All right, Kirsten, thanks again for your donations. It was so lovely to read for you as always. And we're going to move into Marlene. One card read for Marlene. All right, let's go over to see if she has her question. Nope, but go ahead and post your question, Marlene, if you didn't already. One of her patients did it and lost 30 pounds in a month. Oh my gosh. And he's never been able to lose. Oh my gosh. I don't know anything about GLP-1. I think that's what you said it was. Yeah, I don't know anything about that, or the Vinance. I don't even think I've heard of that before, but they're coming out with new things all the time. Yeah, but especially if he's making progress where he's never been able to make progress before. Wow. Yeah, I know the way, I didn't have a significant amount of weight to lose, but I wanted to lose about 12 to 15 pounds just because the clothes that I love, I'm someone who's very sentimental about certain clothing. And when it's feeling a little tight, a little snug, not really it working for my body anymore. I know it's like, no, it's more about the body than the clothes, but I didn't feel good in my body 15 pounds up from where I was. So I didn't do anything too special outside of just cut out a lot of processed foods, and I just did intermittent fasting, and I'm still doing that. I kind of went off the rails with it just a bit because starting this new job and things. Um, but I'm already right now back on, and I'm ready. I'm ready to just even increase the amount of fresh fruits and veggies and um, seasons and spices, and just trying to get 20 to 30 real plant foods a week, different ones. 20 to 30 different plant foods a week um, are really beneficial for your gut microbiome, because all disease, all weight gain or loss, all of it starts in your gut. So Kirsten, if you're wanting your own homework, I guess you can look into intermittent fasting or gut health, gut microbiome. There's all sorts of nuggets of information out there about all of that. All right. Marlene, what is the root cause of my oldest daughter's anxiety/panic attacks? She got a small panic attack yesterday, and lately she's been slightly more anxious than usual. Okay. Yeah, I've noticed this uptick in just like my 13-year-old. He's just been more stressed out, just like very quick to like, I know, just bite my head off. Okay, that's fun. I'm seeing a theme with this in a lot of kids that age right now. And it really does feel like a collective energy. It's not that, they're doing anything wrong. It feels like a very collective energy. Because I just keep hearing for your daughter, it's not hers, it's not hers, it's not hers. And I don't know how into the woo-woo stuff that your kids are, especially your oldest daughter, but explaining to her that, especially if you can't figure out a cause for it in the moment, most likely it's not yours, or it's something outside of you looking to come in. And I know that sounds out there and it sounds woo-woo, especially to a kid who's like, but I'm feeling it. It's here. It is mine. I'm feeling it. Yeah, it is something in the air. It really is. But what I'm getting with her is, yeah, it's very external. Yeah. And it's just this like old timelines closing out, throwing spaghetti at a wall. There might be one personal reason why this could be going on, but just these outside interferences or forces are kind of amplifying the one thing that she's maybe dealing with. This feels like a friend group rather than like a love interest. This feels like a friend that has been kind of, for lack of a better word, kind of shitty to her. And she's internalizing it. Like, what did I do wrong? But I do see that the friend is most likely feeling this energy as well, and probably snapped at her, bit her head off or something. And your daughter took it personal. And now she maybe kind of keeps thinking about it. Whether she's revealed that to you or not, it could be just, and it feels like, oh, something simple as that. But like, we internally, even as a 42-year-old woman, if someone acts like that to me, like, I'll be like, what did I do? And then I remember, oh, they're projecting. It's them. It's not me. True words were never spoken. It's not you. It's me. It's not you. It's them. But let's just tune into, especially what is hers, or whatever this friend did or said. Yeah, it was something that was said. Something that was spoken, and it was more of a joke than or kind of just like a passive aggressive thing. But your daughter like, oh, that's how she really feels about me. Like, kind of something about how, because I'm not getting the specifics of it, but it's like your daughter said something and then laughed, and then this girl, it's a girl, said, oh, well, must be nice. Wish we could all be like that, or just some. Those probably most likely were not the exact words. But it almost made her feel invalidated for whatever it was she just said. And the girl that said it has no ill will toward your daughter, doesn't feel, like, oh, get her away from me. It was just, she was kind of frustrated or anxious in the moment and said something kind of passive aggressive. She comments about a friend, but she says that her friend is stressed and she doesn't give it much attention. And that's exactly the vibe I'm getting here. Her friend is stressed, and she did say something. And it does feel like your daughter maybe internalized just a little bit of it, because it is showing up here. So I did think to mention it. But most of what actually caused the panic attack itself, it does feel like, yeah, it's not hers. but she's holding on to it like it is hers. It's outside of her, looking to come in. But this feels like such a collective thing. So many kids. I've been having more panic attacks too because my psychiatrist dropped me off 3 meds. Oh my gosh, yeah, that might do it. Your whole like hormonal and balance is just like, wow. Most likely caffeine, and I don't get along. Oh yeah, that's another thing that really interferes with kids. Caffeine. But let's just see anything else we can tune into about maybe advice or wisdom for Marlene, for her daughter. Okay, 8 of Pentacles, just to work through it. So I don't know if anyone has told your daughter, if you've heard of box breathing. I think that's what it's called. But if it doesn't show up as box breathing, this is what it is. So you breathe in as deep as you can for about 4 seconds. So you take a nice deep breath for 4 seconds. So space that breath over 4 seconds. Hold it for 4 seconds. Then let it out, or exhale for 4 seconds. And then hold your breath again for 4 seconds. Then start over. Inhale for 4 seconds. Hold it for 4 seconds. Exhale for 4 seconds. Hold it for 4 seconds. So between each of the 4-second inhales and exhales, you hold it 4 seconds in between. That's the easiest way I can describe it. And that actually works really big wonders when I'm feeling like my kids are fighting and they're nitpicking at each other, and I'm just like, okay, let's breathe. Let's breathe. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I talk to her a lot, but she still get anxious. Yeah. Let's just see any other guidance coming through for Marlene's oldest daughter with her stress and anxiety. Yeah. This feels very like refreshing, like changing the thought or stepping into different energy. So I don't know if she's into meditation at all, and sometimes kids will look at you like, have you lost your mind? That sounds boring. There are plenty of different like meditative techniques, or even quantum jumping, quantum shifting she can do when this anxiety is coming up. And another thing that is a really quick fix for that I tell my kids all the time is, you're feeling that anxious, that anxiety, that stress come on, wherever you're at. You don't have to like get completely zoned out for this or anything, but you're at the lunch table or you're sitting in English class or whatever, you can just whether you feel you can close your eyes or not, I guess it usually helps visualize if you can close your eyes. But if you're like literally in the middle of class and if you close your eyes, people would be like, oh my god, she's sleeping, or what is she doing? That's so weird. Kids don't want to look weird, so we don't want her to feel weird in public doing these things. But if she can close her eyes, even just for 3 to 10 seconds, and just envision this sacred fire of God or source, or whatever she subscribes to on a more spiritual level, coming in to just purify and burn away all the yuckiness, all the nastiness, all the energy that's hers and not hers. And it could take as little as like maybe 5 to 10 seconds even. And just doing that. And I know when you're a 13 or however old she is, and you're feeling a certain type of way, and doing these visualizations almost feels silly. I mean, even at age 42, sometimes if I'm in public, I'm like, what are people thinking? And I'm kind of overcoming that now, but you don't want to feel silly in the middle of feeling the anxiety and stress. But yeah. Every time she gets one, I talk to her for about an hour, and breathing is also a big thing. Yeah. I'm just seeing the breath being very beneficial, or if you're breathing too quick and too shallow, that can be actually not good. So just breathing deeper, just breathing literally down, all the way down into like I always just say like breathe down even way past the belly button, like all the way down like to the pelvis area. Just breathe all the way down. I know literally our lungs can't breathe that deep, but just as a visual, when you're trying to breathe as deep as you can, to breathe all the way down into your lower belly, your womb space, somewhere down there, just to really bring that breath in. It can help. She has visualized other things to help her, but she might just think it's imaginary, not real, but she doesn't anyway. Yeah. And that's the thing is, even if you feel kind of silly or like a fool doing these things, it can help slow it down, because what's happening here, it's not quite a parachute, but it's an umbrella to kind of slow just this downward spiral that can happen when we get in these stressful states. These techniques can at least help slow it down, or help her kind of separate herself from the feeling, because she is not the feeling. And that's the thing. A lot of us identify so strongly with our feelings, our emotions, to where we think that's who we are. That's what we are right now. But we are actually the one experiencing the thoughts or the feelings. We're the ones observing what's going on. And maybe even explaining that to her can help kind of compartmentalize that this, yes, it feels very much like it's happening to you, but actually it is happening to your body, but you're not only your body. You are the observer of what's going on. You're the one feeling maybe these feelings, or you're aware of these feelings, but you are not the feelings. You are not the body. I mean, a lot of us identify as our body, but I know these concepts can be very out there for someone who's, young. So however Mama Marlene feels about broaching these topics with her could probably, I mean, you never know what exact thing you say is going to spark or kind of plant a seed that will, grow roots and sprout and break the surface and really help her. You just, I guess, never know exactly what it is that's going to take root for her. But yeah, because there's certain things that you're telling her, or maybe techniques that she's just not quite able to let soak in. But don't not have those conversations just because you think, oh, she won't get it, she won't grasp it, because eventually she's going to lift her head up and see, oh, I get it. And I see within like 3 months, something you say to her now is going to really like soak in and be like something she really does rely on as far as techniques to overcome when she's feeling like this in the future. Let's just get some additional guidance before we close out. Anything else Marlene needs to know to help her daughter through this anxiety? Inkpot, problems to be resolved. Yes, they will be resolved. Not to say she'll never be stressed out or anxious again, but this does feel very much like if these things do arise, if these things do occur, she's going to be able to pick her way through them. Yeah, great good fortune with the 4-leaf clover. Yeah, very interesting. So just with not the words written here, but what these things actually are. A good luck tool for her would be maybe to have like clover symbolism, like 4-leaf clover symbolism on, I don't know, a t-shirt, a keychain, a hat, I don't know, something. But the ink pot is reminding me maybe just writing these thoughts out. And even if she doesn't want to keep them, she can then burn them. Anything that's stressing you out or you're feeling really anxious about, you can give her these tools, and whether she uses them now or years in the future, you're planting seeds now to where she'll remember maybe certain techniques or things to get through this. Yeah, you don't want to carry on in adulthood. Yeah, for sure. Just closing statements, just see anything else. Where are we going? Let's go here. Especially to bring relief to Marlene's daughter now with these panic attacks and just stress. Okay, yeah, she can say no to the energy. Because a lot of times when we start feeling something, we just go with it, That's something we haven't been told is you don't have to feel that way. A lot of us, we're just literally responding to reacting to what's happening rather than choosing how we respond. And this is something I actually have done to talk myself out of a panic attack, because I don't have it often, but maybe once every couple of years, I'll feel just something's building. And the last time that it actually happened, it was in 2022. And that was like a big deal that I'm like, wow, I remember this. I know I've had little moments of panic here and there, but it doesn't like rule my life or anything. We'll just put it that way. But I was feeling this like shallow breathing, quick breathing, just like coming on. And in my like inner awareness, it said, just say no. Like the saying back in the 90s with the drugs, just say no. I actually heard just say no. And so I told the panic and I didn't even need to know what the root cause of it was, but I just tuned in my mind's awareness, bringing my spirit online to say, okay, where's the root cause of this? I don't even need to know where it is, but my true spirit can suss it out for me. So my spirit is getting to the root cause of this and shutting it down. No, literally saying no. And if I'm getting this jar here, I don't have the lid in here, but she can say no, reach out in that awareness, shove all of this anxiety in the jar and close the lid. Of course, this is all going on in her mind's eye rather than like, she's literally like, where's a jar? I need a jar. And this is like, no, she doesn't physically have to have a jar, but just in her mind's eye. And I didn't try that, but this was sitting here and that's what came to me. But what happened for me was I just literally shut it down and then spread the light. And then picture your own spirit taking up residence everywhere where that anxiety was, if she was feeling it in her chest or her hands started getting really numb and tingly, like happens to me. The extremities start getting really loose and almost like your knees could buckle or something when you're really getting this panic attack energy. Bringing your spirit in to basically create this beautiful bubble around you of protection. And however you want to explain these things to her could definitely benefit. Yeah, you want her to have good coping mechanisms for life's problems now and in the future. Absolutely. Yeah. And so those might be just a couple little, I don't know, hot tips to hopefully help kind of stop it in its tracks rather than allow it to evolve and get worse. Because I do see once she does have some coping mechanisms, it will give her this sense of power that maybe she felt powerless before. And right as I'm saying that, we have the power card, the Emperor, where she's going to feel more in control of maybe not the energy that's coming at her, but how she responds to the energy coming in. All right, Marlene, I hope that helped. Because as mamas, we just want to take all that pain and sadness and hurt and whatever the hell away. We don't want it hurting our babies or making them panic. Like, that's so, my heart goes out to you as the mom. We just don't want to have our babies feeling that way. Aw, you're so welcome, Marlene. Thank you. Thank you again for your donation. All right. And I think we've reached the last little bit here. And we haven't, we've reached all of our donations, but we're not quite to the 2-hour mark. So instead of doing the drawing and the giveaway, let's just do a quick little thing for those of you that are here. I think it says 2 of you are here. So you have a really good chance of winning. So how about this? If you're here right now and you're hearing my words and we're still live, so if you're on the replay, I'm sorry, you're going to have to miss out on this one. If you're here and hearing my words right now, put a 777 in the chat and I will pull you a card. How's that sound? Even if you've already paid for a reading today, it doesn't matter. If you're here and you're hearing my words right now, put a 777 in the chat and I'll just do a free 1-card giveaway real quick for whoever's here. It says there's 2 of you, so claim your free gift by putting a 777 to let me know you would like a free little reading. Oh, good. It was helpful. Oh, good. I'm glad. All right. Well, Marlene's claiming her prize. Let's get into it for Marlene. Anything Marlene needs to know? Anything for Marlene. All right. Very interesting, because I'm not seeing this as anything that is affecting you now. This is moving out. It might just be you here. It's very interesting. Because if I were the other person I was lurking at, I'd probably put a 777 by now. It's funny, because I normally don't see this with this card, but the pentacles in the window almost look like a Christmas tree. So if you're struggling maybe to figure out, okay, this is what this is. I'm like, this does not feel like financial woes right now. But if you're just kind of wondering, like, what all to get everybody for Christmas and, how much did I spend for this one? How much did I spend for that one? Make sure it's all even, mom vibes. Sorry, my throat's doing its thing. You're going to be able to figure it all out. And not just because that's something we're dealing with Wrigley, my youngest. Like, he just wants all this little just junk, basically like 25-cent junk, like pretty much. It probably costs 25 cents to produce. And I'm like, I don't want to just buy you a bunch of junk that is going to end up broken by the end of the day. And then that's it. Like, I want to buy you things you'll use, that you want, that you need. So Boston was easy because we got him a pretty big gift. And I'm not going to say that just in case. I don't think he watches my live streams, but he might be out across that, out there. I thought it's either him or Wrigley that's in my room over there. I don't want anyone to hear if they're overhearing. So I won't spoil what his big gift is, but we didn't really have a big gift for Wrigley as far as, I know what to get him. So we're just trying to fill in with, lots of little gifts to equal the same amount. And yeah, so that's what the vibe I'm getting with this is. And you will figure it out in time. So don't stress too much about that. Just see anything else coming through from Arlene. Anything else? The devil, yeah, just, this time of year, stress and worry, anxiety, maybe even, again, kind of referring back to your actual reading that you did your donation for, worrying about your daughter. Because sometimes when we worry about things, we're paying attention. Obviously, as moms, we deserve to worry and help figure things out for our kids. Absolutely. So you're not doing anything wrong there. It's just getting stuck in this, oh God, oh God, what if this, what if, borrowing trouble with the what if, what if, what if, what if. Um, and just being this pillar of, no, I know that anything she's going through, we're going to get through it. We're going to get through it together. She doesn't have to get through it on her own. We're going to get through it together. Yeah. Oh, it happens every year. Same. Most of the time, I mean, my kids just, they're in a lot of different sports and stuff. So that would be like the most likely, like, oh, let's get them this. But like, usually at the start of the season, like different cleats and stuff that they've outgrown from the year before, it's like, well, we already did all that. So it's like, now what? Right. Well, all right. Well, I think we are down to one viewer. So I'm going to go, but I hope that was helpful for you, Marlene. But you're going to figure it out. Whatever it is, you're going to be like, oh, I have an epiphany. This would be a great gift. And it might even be like a family gift, like a combined gift for all three. Yeah, there might be something you're like, oh, best idea ever. If that has not hit you yet, it will. So don't stress too much about it. You're going to figure it out. All right, you guys, thanks again so much for all those likes, comments, shares, subscribes, donations, and all the things. And I really, truly do hope to see each and every one of you right back here at Harmony Portal Tarot Live. And I will be back next Wednesday at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. That is the next scheduled event. And it may be actually, I got to check the schedule because it was like Monday and Tuesday we have basketball games for Boston, but the Tuesday date, it actually says December 4th, which is the date on Wednesday. So I need to figure out that discrepancy because on the calendar it's showing it's a Tuesday game, but they're giving the Wednesday date. So I will figure out that discrepancy. But either way, I will be live Wednesday. It just might be delayed by half hour or so. If that is the case, it'll still be in the evening hours. So, all right, you guys, much love, peace, and have a happy, blessed weekend. And I will see you later. Bye.